office to talk to Karen Kepik, whom I worked with before I went to prison, and who had told me she was going to give me a laptop computer sometime early this week. I went because Tuesday pretty much concludes the early part of a work week. Karen is a probation officer who works as court monitor for mental health court. That's my understanding anyway. I called her from the free lobby phone. She wasn't in, so I left a message. Then I went out to Washington County. I think it was about 5 o'clock I think it was about 5 o'clock. A week and a half ago, when I lived at a place called STP, I never would have gone that late because they had an 8 o'clock curfew. Here at the estate, they also have a curfew, but it's 10 o'clock. The coin gods selected Beaverton Transit Center, which was lucky because it was a red line, I found out when it happened. And Red Line has Beaverton Transit Center as its last stop before going back. The coin gods may have been punishing me for not knowing I was on a red line until after the fact. There was a shopping cart at the Beaverton Transit Center for the Asian market right across the footbridge from there. I put my stuff in the cart, emptying my backpack of cans into the body of the cart, backpack into the child's seat, and satchel hanging over the handle of the cart. Such is my way. Sometimes when people see someone carrying a cart full of cans, they offer said person some more. I went across the bridge and almost immediately found a Fred Meyer cart. As I was going to Fred Meyer, I switched all my stuff to it. Two good deeds, you see. Brought one cart closer to its owner and bringing another to its owner. Then I found a smaller Fred Meyer cart and switched to it. Thought being that if the cart looks full, people are more likely to help out with more bottles and cans. But when the strong wind that day blew 3 cans and bottles out, I decided to go back and get the large cart. I lost $1 playing video slots at a place called Dee Dee's. When I got to Fred Meyer's, all the bottle return machines were off. I asked an employee who was outside the store if I could therefore get a hand count. She called customer service, then told me they no longer accepted cans. I told her that was against the law. She told me they could explain it better at the customer service desk, so I went there. While waiting in line, I checked to see if they had any Wi-Fi, so I could show them the Oregon law regarding bottle return. They didn't have Wi-Fi. When it was my turn, they told me that Freddy's no longer accepted cans and that the can should be taken to a quote, half a mile down the main drag here, TV Highway or whatever, pointing to Beaverton Hillsdale Highway. I told them that it was against the law for them not to accept cans, and that if they had Wi-Fi, I would show them the Oregon law on the matter. They said that they didn't have to because they were a private organization. I said that didn't matter, neglecting to say that the position they just detailed was an anarchist one. I then took the Fred Meyer's car off the property. Heading down Beaverton Hillsdale Highway in the direction the customer service rep had pointed. Excuse me. But I didn't know it was Beaverton Hillsdale Highway until I asked someone. When I found out it was, I knew TV Highway was about a block away, so I headed for it. In the process, I returned the Fred Meyer's cart, finding an unidentifiable one in a place I suspected would have such, or something close to such. I was about to head to the Beaverton Mall, now called Cedar Hills Crossing, when I realized that the Starbucks at Fred Meyer has Wi-Fi. I keep money and ID in tins, and it was at about this time that I found a new tin for my change. My old change tin was falling apart. On the flip of my lucky Canadian dime, I went back to Freddy's with the unidentifiable cart. On the way there, I realized I could turn in my cans at Trader Joe's. Or so I thought. It turned out Trader Joe's was on the same program as Freddy's. The customer service rep there described the central can return place as being, quote, down by the Jesuit High School, end of quote. I had an uncertain memory that Jesuit High School was on Beaverton Hillsdale Highway, not PV Highway. I went right outside the Freddy's Starbucks and used their Wi-Fi. I think I found the exact data I was looking for in less than 5 minutes and went in to show Freddy's customer service rep my proof. He still wouldn't budge. He gave me a number to call. So I finally gave in and went to find the central can return place using the vague descriptions I'd received. I went down Beaverton Hillsdale Highway till I got a little past Jesuit High and gave up. By this time, it was almost 9 o'clock p.m., so I waited for the 54 to take me back into town. It arrived at 9:05. I got home at 9:45 or so, rolled my smokes, and went to bed. By this time, I'd collected a lot of cans out in Beaverton. I didn't do my journal entry. This is an aside. I didn't do my journal entry last night because I got home so late and I was getting pretty tired. This morning, I think I again awoke at 9 o'clock a.m. This seemed to be becoming my standard wake-up time. I had 2 dreams. I think they both involved music playing on my smartphone. I don't remember them past that. I must have left around 9:30. In the lobby was the computer Karen had brought. Oh. I must have arrived at around 9:30. In the lobby was the computer. Karen had brought it. I took it to my room. It had no power cord nor juice in the battery. I then went out to turn in my cans. Whole Foods machine was down and there was someone waiting before me with a lot of cans. So I headed for Trader Joe's on Gleason and turned them in there, getting $8.80 for my effort. I then headed for my usual place to buy smokes. By the time I got there, it was about 11 o'clock or 11:30. So I went to the library to get some stuff accomplished on the World Wide Web before my 2 o'clock p.m. appointment with a gal named Yana. Yana has been my caseworker or something for the last 3 or 4 months since I got out of prison. She has been a true miracle worker. Today was my last meeting with her. Her job is now taken over by a gal named Carly at a place called Cascadia. I arrived 5 minutes late. I think that's all I did before returning home. I returned to get to this journal, which I knew would be a toughie. When I got here, Jeff was here and available, so I had him call Karen Kepik for me. She says she'll search for the power cord, or we'll find one at Goodwill or Free Geek. I have $7.83 right now. I have an appointment with my PO tomorrow at 1 o'clock p.m. I can't accomplish much else today. I got home at about 3 o'clock p.m. It's now almost 9 o'clock p.m. This journal is in cursive handwriting.